Now we have Dr. Tunde Adelakun joining us on the show today. And of course, he's the president, African Football Journalists Association. And yes, a huge Chelsea fan as well. Great to have you with us on the show today.
Hello there.
Thank you. We look forward to an amazing season. And I mean, football fans have longed for the return of the EPL. And finally, it is here. Before we get into the rules and regulations of the game, what are your expectations from England this season, especially for your club, Chelsea?
Expectations in England is that right from the time the Premier League started in 1992, we always have looked forward to one season, the new season, being better than the previous one. And that's exactly what our expectations are. This is the league where dreams come true. This is the league where players, they do whatever they do in their respective countries, in various other continents, and this is the holy grail. This is where everybody wants to be. Oh, when they signed for a Premier League club, this is my dream come true. And we're looking forward to it being just that, where things of last season get better than this season. I mean, this season get better than the previous ones. Now, for my club, Chelsea, my beloved club, Chelsea, we're looking forward to great things as well. We're looking forward to a good season. We're looking forward to, surprising the elements that feel like the chaos that we cannot avoid even if we tried. The chaos is there. It's quite chaotic. It's quite frantic over there at the moment. Nobody knows where they're coming or they're going. But the truth of the matter is there are going to be things that will be settled on the pitch, and we hope that the pitch will do more of the talking than the chaos and the drama.
All right, the pitch will do more of the talking than the chaos and the drama. I've still got Jidechi right here in the studio. Jidechi, we look forward to an amazing season, and the transfer market is hotting up. But of course, some clubs, most especially Manchester United, with the manager coming out talking about Erik ten Hag, saying that his team is not ready for the EPL. But they kick off the league today against Fulham.
Yeah, I mean, anybody that is not ready at this point, they are not serious. Let me just put it as that. The league has started. There's no reason you should be telling us you are not ready. You had the entire transfer break to get your team in shape. You had the entire period that the Euros was going on. Even if you missed out, say your players were busy during the Euros, the Olympics was on for 2 good weeks, and you couldn't put your team together. Come on, let's do away with the excuses. We already know Manchester United are going to struggle this season, so let's get on with it already. I mean, Chelsea, on the other hand, look a little bit busier than United, signing everybody they could sign. I will not be surprised they will be signing you next to Duka. But it's one of those things. New season, new expectations, lots and lots of new faces. My own interest every single time would be the Nigerian players, of course. 10 Nigerian players this time around. The likes of Wilfred Ndidi returning to the league. Freddie Ladapo coming to the league with Ipswich Town. It's wonderful to see new faces always in the league. Last season we saw that with Luton Town. The Southampton boys are also in the mix. There's Onyeka also still with Brentford. So I'm always looking forward to these Nigerian players and what they can offer in the Premier League. And of course, my own at the end of the day would be, let neither of these teams that have Nigerian players on their ranks be among the teams that will be going down to the championship at the end of the season.
Talking about Nigerian players, a couple of them will feature later today against Manchester United. We'll see Calvin Bassey playing against Manchester United. Also, we'll see Alex Iwobi in the mix as well against Manchester United. So I'm sure Nigerians will be rooting for, Nigerians who are not Man U fans will be rooting for Fulham to cause an upset against Manchester United. But Tunde, Dr. Tunde, now, a lot of rules, changes have been made in the EPL. Let's start off with the VAR, because I'm hearing that the referees will now begin to explain certain calls on the football pitch. Also, we are going to see these explanations, especially on X, formerly Twitter. Don't you think these couple of rule changes will get to distort the love of football and the flow of the game?
VAR was established and started some years ago, and that was there to distort the flow of the game. It already does. it does distort the flow of the game. I was never a fan of VAR, even when it was being planned. I had sat on various subcommittees when the rules were being drawn up in IFAB over here in London and in Ireland, where, you know, they were talking about video assistance for the referees to mirror what was going on in cricket and rugby. And I was one of the voices that dissented, that felt, no, we don't need it because it stops the flow of the game. Now, they have gone further and they've done it, okay? They've done it and we've accepted it. So the VAR is there and we've had our games distorted and we've had mistakes and we've had weird decisions. Quite strange decisions sometimes. And we've had some where, you know, they have helped somebody who has been paid to be better than you and I to be on the pitch, still making mistakes. But then the reason he's been picked as a referee over you or I to be a referee is because he is supposed to be mistake-free. But now we're making excuses for these mistaken referees by sending about 4 or 5 people into a studio to watch videos and correct or re-establish or re-ascertain his decisions. I've never been a great fan of VAR, but it's there. It's there. It's here to stay. We can't do much about it, and therefore that's fine. Now, the rules, it's going to be a lot more complicated. Now, in the past, we've had it. They have a quiet look at the VAR. We look at the clarification and stuff, and the referee just comes back and points to the spot if he feels like it's a penalty, or takes his pocket from a card from his pocket and shows it to a player. That's okay. And then people said, not good enough. We want to see what is being reviewed. So we go back to the screen. Everybody goes back to the screen, and they look at it, and we all see it. We see where the crunching tackle is, where the contact is made, where something needed to have been done by the VAR, and then it justifies. Still not good enough. So we're now talking about, let's go out there and and FIFA has tried it. FIFA tried it in the Women's World Cup and in the Olympics, where the referee now comes back after review, announces to the people or to the fans on the pitch and to people watching at home, of course, and say, okay, we've now found out that there was contact. It will be, boom, a penalty. I wish them luck in England in very hostile conditions. In some of the stadia that we have got over here in England, I wish the referees luck. I mean, you've got to have thick skin, especially when you're now going on X and social media to go and explain yourself. I actually wish us luck, because this is a very, very unique league, all right? And one of the things that we're trying to veer away from is what VAR and the referee PGMOL is dragging us back to. So we're going to start explaining on X, justifying the decision of a referee, and he's going to get some stick. He's going to get some flack, and it's not going to be good, because anybody who knows him to the heart, even if he's made the right call, anybody who knows him deep, deep, deep will hit him deep, 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 and it could affect his mental health. So we've got to be very careful about this. These rules, I think the key thing is we have an obsession with changing things. And I'm going to bore you a little bit with another 30 seconds and say to you, you know when you watch an advert on TV, and they're advertising something really good, and the advert was very ingenious, and everybody liked the advert. Then they pull the advert, and they say because they want to do an upgrade, they're going to do another advert, and they make one that is a lot more boring than the original one, and it loses its taste. That's exactly what we're trying to do, because we are obsessed with changing things. We're obsessed with introducing new things to show that we're busy, to show that we're working. I don't get it.
Right. And, you know, talking about these changes, and also just so the viewers can also know that there's a new X account that has been created specifically for the EPL, that's the PL Match Center, where these explanations will be thrown so that fans can actually go on social media to see the exact explanation from the Premier League referees. Now, with all of these VAR taking time to make a decision, also explaining to the players, explaining to online viewers as well, there's also a rule that states that last season we had extra time that is as much as 10 to 15 minutes. Now there's a rule that states that these times will also be reduced drastically. But then with the VAR checks and all, don't you think it will still cause a bit of mayhem on the football pitch, because there will still be a lot of time wasting? So why are we reducing the extra time that we're giving to these football matches?
Well, we're playing into the hands of the team that is leading 1-0, that wants to preserve his 1-0 lead, or the team that is on the 1-1 with the Manchester City. A great result, Jesus Christ, that we're just on the cusp of getting a point against this perennially successful team. And so we can waste as much time as possible because VAR will support us. And when VAR supports us, at the end of the day, the referee don't have to support them, because it will still be business as usual, shorter extra time, injury time, time for stoppages and that. So we're playing into the hands of the crafty managers, the crafty players, the very intelligent ones. I mean, as a neutral, it adds to the excitement. Adds to the excitement because you don't know what's happening. You don't know whether we're coming or going. We don't know how many minutes the board will be when it goes up. And that's all adding to the excitement until it happens to affect your team. If it affects my team here, then we've got a problem. Then we've got a major one. But as long as it doesn't, and I'm a neutral and I'm watching, knock yourself out, do what you want, give us the extra time that you think is best, and let's get on with stuff.
A lot of things issues. I think issues will arise when the league kicks off officially later today. Man United versus Fulham. Now, we're talking about the rules now. We're also hearing that there will be no winter break, the winter break has been scrapped, with the season starting a week later. Now, team lineups will not be released 60 minutes before game time. It will be released at least 75 minutes before kickoff. Now, for time wasters, they've been warned as well. Players will be warned about the time wasting before receiving yellow cards. No direct yellow card for wasting time. There'll be an initial warning. There'll be a yellow card. If it continues, of course, there'll be a red card that will be issued. Now, 5 players are allowed to warm up at the same time in correspondence with the fact that teams are able to make 5 substitutions. And also, talking about coaches now, let's look at the new clubs that have been promoted to the EPL. The likes of Ipswich will be making a return to the EPL after quite a long time. Ipswich Town making a return to the EPL. Leicester City also making a return. And then Southampton. Now, last season, we predicted that some of these clubs that got promoted will be relegated, and we saw what happened last season. Now, looking at Ipswich, Leicester, and Southampton, where do you think this season will go for them?
Well, you know, one of the advantages of teams that go down these days is that they still have a payment, a huge payment that they get from the Premier League, even for about 2 or 3 years after they're down. And that helps them keep their wage structure up and still get quality players into their team to remain in the team, to retain those players. So in the past, like if you go to France now, in France, the moment a player goes down, a team goes down in relegation, that's it. You know, their wage bill, their wage structure has to come down because they can't afford what they were paying when they were in Ligue 1. Now, that's very different in the Premier League. Championship teams that are still receiving a parachute payment from the Premier League, we still got them down there. Norwich is still receiving parachute payment, and they've been out for 2 years. So they've got that advantage to come up. Now, some of them have made very good use of it. You know, the likes of Southampton and Leicester, who have gone down and come straight back up. Burnley is down now. I can tell you they'll be there or thereabouts in the conversation when they want to come back up again, because they've got the clout, they've got the financial clout to retain the players, the high-level players that they have got. Leicester did it last season. And this season, going forward, I think the 3 teams that got promoted will be fine. They will be fine. I think I don't see Leicester struggling at the bottom of the table again. Southampton will be in the lower half, but they wouldn't go down, I don't think. Ipswich Town could be a bit touch and go, but they've made some really useful signings. They've made some great signings so far, which shows that this Kieran McKenna guy, this manager of Ipswich Town, he was started as potential manager of Manchester United or Chelsea. And then his name came into the conversation again with regards to when Gareth Southgate's future was being discussed. It means he actually knows what he's doing. And that if they keep him on, he's made some good signings. And it will be a real tough job to shift him away from the Premier League that he has managed and fought to get to. I'm not saying it's a definite yes, that they will stay, but he's made some great signings. I like what the signings he's made. He just completed one a few minutes ago, again, which is Sammy Smodic. 27 goals in the championship, knows how what hard work means. Hard graft in the Premier League, very important. So I think they'll be fine, largely, and some new candidates might be. I mean, I'm very worried about Everton. I'm worried about Everton because of the inconsistencies and the uncertainties that are happening down in the boardroom with regards to ownership and stadium moves and all that kind of stuff. I'm worried about them. And there are a few clubs like that I can be a little bit worried about. But I think the three that came up this time, it'd be a struggle. It'd be hard to shift them and tell them you're going back down. They won't do that without a fight.
All right, they will not go down without a fight. Jidechi, this season kicks off today, but we know that a couple of new coaches have been employed in the EPL, going from Liverpool. Of course, Jurgen Klopp is no longer the coach at Liverpool. There's Arne Slot right there. There's Maresca, the former coach of Leicester City. He's now the manager at Chelsea. Steve Cooper is the manager for the Leicester City manager. Brighton also have a new manager, talking about Josela Fabian. Julian Lopetegui is back. He's back with West Ham United. Crystal Palace have a new manager. Southampton have a new manager. So new managers in the EPL, how easy do you think it would be for them to adapt in the EPL? Taking a look at Liverpool and Chelsea, the major concern right here.
I'll be very honest with you, it would not be easy. It's the Premier League, come on. We saw Pep Guardiola struggling his first season. Since then, it's been a smooth ride for him. It's not many times you get to see new managers come into the Premier League and have a roller coaster almost immediately. I think I'm looking out for the likes of Steve Cooper, Lopetegui, and the new Chelsea manager, Maresca. I'm particularly interested in how they are going to cope. Maresca, not really seen much of him prior to his employment with Chelsea. I'm pretty interested in how he's going to manage the situation at the club, considering there's quite a number of players in his ranks. I'm particularly looking forward to how he can cope with that. Leicester City, it's been a long time they had a change in guard. That's with a new manager in the helm. And I'm also interested in how he can manage his team. Also, the fact that there's a Nigerian interest there for me. And of course, Lopetegui coming to England, I'm particularly interested also how he's going to perform at West Ham United. It's a pretty much different scene for Lopetegui, considering he's been in and around Spanish football for most of his career. So these are three managers I'm particularly interested in. And Slot, of course, is another person, but let me just say I'm not expecting a lot. Liverpool fans should be ready for that drag season, especially considering the fact that this club side did not bring in lots and lots of new players, which is a problem for Liverpool faithfuls. The fact that their club, the likes of Chelsea and other clubs, are signing a whole lot of players, and then there's their club that is not even talking about bringing in new players. I think recently he said what he has is enough for them. And I'm particularly curious, are you sure about this, considering Jurgen Klopp struggled in his last season at Liverpool? But let's see how it goes. That's what the Premier League is all about. Everybody wants to come and show themselves. But usually, is it a season to show yourself for new managers who are in their first season in the Premier League? I doubt it, very much doubt it, that most of the new managers would excite us.
Right. Doctor, you're a Chelsea fan, and I'm sure you've seen the comments all over social media. What is the plan right there at the club? Chelsea keeps signing players left, right, and center. What will the training ground look like for Chelsea? There's a new manager in Maresca. What will be his goal at Chelsea? Is it to win the EPL? Is it to maintain a level playing ground with the club? What exactly will Chelsea bring this season? I'm sure you have high expectations for your club, but of course you'd go with the flow. Football is being played on the pitch, not on paper. Now, with Maresca is a new manager at the club, are you confident that Chelsea will finish in the top 4 this season?
Confidence is a very strong word. Confidence is a very relative word as well. I have belief that, you know, when you put together a bunch of people and they are the decision makers in any big organization, and I tell you what, Chelsea is a massive organization in London, you don't expect them all to be stupid, which effectively means that they have come together, had a good think before they made the decision to appoint Enzo Maresca as the manager of Chelsea Football Club, which is great. We've got to come behind him. We've got to give him time. That's the most important thing. Give him time, because he's not going to work magic all, you know, overnight. He's got 43 players. I think we'll reduce to 40 or 41 by the end of the weekend, because Leslie Gochukwu is on his way. There was another one. Amanda Broya will probably join Ipswich as well. And the revolving door is moving fast now, because we've only got 2 weeks to the end of the transfer window. Yeah. So by the time the transfer window comes to an end, I think we will be a bit steadier. At the moment, the training ground will be absolutely chaotic. Nobody knows where they are. I think each person would have a name tag on saying, this is my name, because there will be so many people, you'll struggle to remember them all as a coach. But you know, jokes apart, I think that my expectation will be that if we got into top 6 with the way we played last season, we've got to aim to be better. And being better means top 4. Now, you could ask the question, where would that come from? Enzo Maresca, what pedigree has he got? The pedigree he's got is he brought Leicester from the Championship to the Premier League, but playing a particular brand of football that if he gets it right with Chelsea, with the array of stars and potential talent that we have got in that team, and he will, because they're all young, they're all energetic, and he's all about energy. Keep the ball, run with the ball, press, and run. And they've all got energy. They're not 30-odd-year-olds. They're all late teens stroke early 20s, most of them. He's going to get a lot out of them because they've got the energy to do it. If he can get it right, I think that his relative inexperience, it would just be like Arteta. I mean, Arteta came into Arsenal, and within a short while, he was doing very well, rubbing shoulders and beating the big teams, and he won the FA Cup at the expense of City and United in his first season in charge at the age of under 40. So if Mikel can do it in Arsenal, Enzo can do it because he's got more experience than Mikel Arteta. So my expectations, top 4. Yeah, absolutely. And people might look at it and think the administration of Chelsea is not as good enough to warrant it. But I think that Enzo is a good coach, and we've got great players. And if we give him the time, then he'll do it.
Now, talking about the missing piece, is Victor Osimhen the missing piece in Chelsea's jigsaw? Do you think he will solve the attacking problems Chelsea seem to be having, especially with Nicholas Jackson?
I'm very happy that when you played the clip from the Prophet, that the camera was not on me, because I was in stitches. I was absolutely in stitches. I was laughing my head off because that was absolutely uncanny. You couldn't write that script. Victor Osimhen, number 9. I know Victor very well. I scouted Victor for the Nigerian national team in 2016. He had just finished being the top scorer in the under 17 World Cup. And I said to Gernot, I said to him, you know, we've got a list, our first list for our first game in 2016. Our first game was against Tanzania in Uyo. And we had our first list. We were assisted by Coach Salisu Yusuf, who gave us the list of the players he used in the friendly matches in March of that year. And we picked 22 of them, and we needed one more. And I said to Gernot, I said, listen, there's this boy in Nigeria, don't know where he is, but I know that they will find him because he's still in Nigeria. Top scorer in the Under-17 World Cup. Let us show Nigerians that we care about the future as well, not just the present. Let's put him in the squad because I saw potential in him. Because I knew that I saw him in the Under-23 AFCON, which Nigeria won. And I was there as a consultant of the NFF in Senegal the year before. He played in that tournament as well. And I said, let's just put him in. So we put him in, number 9. Top player, great speed, great pace, great attitude, especially when it comes to being professional on the pitch. On the pitch, he puts everything. He puts his heart down on the pitch. That's what Chelsea needs. That's what Chelsea did not have last season. I love Nicky Jackson. Nico is a great guy. He's a friend of mine. You are a much junior friend of mine. And I like what he did for Chelsea. It's no mean feat to score 15, 17 goals in one season, your first season. Didier scored 17 goals in his first season at Chelsea, and now he's a Chelsea legend. So it doesn't stop Nico from being a Chelsea legend later on in life. But today, if we need things to start to happen now, we need Osimhen. Right. We need an Osimhen. He is the missing puzzle in that jigsaw. We need somebody who can put the ball away. You can see the amount of creativity that we have got in that team. Madueke, Mudryk when he's awake, Mudryk, Madueke, Raheem Sterling. We've got them all. Jules Rihal, and of course Cole Palmer, and a lot of them all. Enzo from the back sometimes. Great passes. And we just need a finisher. Somebody to just know with his eyes closed where the goal is. And Victor is that person. All right. Because I've worked with him for 7 years, and I know he knows where the goal is. Okay. So when you talk about his career, killing his career, how you kill somebody's career when he knows where the net is? He knows where the bloody net is. Sorry. He knows where the goal is. He knows where to put the ball. And that's all we need. That's all we need, man.
It's all right. We look forward to the season officially kicking off later today. Man United taking on Fulham, and other games go down Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Football is back in England and Europe as well. We'll say thank you, Dr. Tunde, for joining us today, and we surely would love to see you again talk more about the upgrade in the EPL. Thank you for joining today.
My pleasure. Thank you very much. Have a good one.